Morning, guys. It's Eugene. I thought I would document my first service experience. I'm not sure if you guys were following along in my last charging video. I was charging at a 50 kilowatt station and talking about things, and I had a call with Rivian service because I had the service suspension notification come up. So obviously not the most ideal situation, but I am headed there now to go figure out what I need to get done. So far what they've told me is that I should be expecting my a loaner car, and then after I get the loaner car, if I need the loaner car is what they said as well, they are going to make sure that my car gets taken care of, the service suspension issue is addressed, and so on. A little bit of background for those of you that have made comments about obviously going to the salt flats not being the most ideal place for a vehicle like this. You're not wrong. Obviously salt is not the best thing for vehicles, but the service suspension issue did pop up before I went to the salt flats. This actually happened the Wednesday after I got my vehicle. I hadn't really done anything yet. I had been driving around town mostly and doing some charging stuff, and so that is about it. So far my experience with the Rivian service has been a little disjointed. I would say that they're a little disorganized right now. I think that they're working through some of the kinks of service since, you know, they haven't really had to deal with that many service issues just yet. But from what I understand, what they did first is they looked at the back end. So once I created my service request, the service team went in, they connected to my car remotely, and after they connected to it remotely, they were able to do some diagnostics from there. They noted that there's not really anything catastrophically wrong with the car. They're thinking that there might be something that might have tripped, or, you know, maybe there's a crossed wire or something might need to be tightened. I'm not sure. But they did mention that there's a really good chance that there's nothing really actually wrong. They just need to go in and run some diagnostics when I take this in for service. They have noted that they will try and provide me a loaner car, which would be ideal since I do have a lot to do today and do need a vehicle. But they also have done something really great, which is really cool. They gave me $600 in Lyft credits to ensure that I can get to and from work and do everything that I need to if I need to use Lyft. So cool. I am actually very appreciative of them doing that. I think for now, you know, I'm gonna get to the service center. I'm gonna get my car serviced, and then we'll see what happens. All right, guys, just getting to the Rivian Service Center. Again, today we are looking into this very specific suspension service issue that came up about 3 days after I got the car. And I wouldn't say that this Rivian Service Center is in the most insanely posh part of the town, but it was only about 22 minutes away from the home. So, morning. Good, how about yourself? Thank you.
Are you Eugene?
Yeah, are you Lisa?
I'm Michelle.
Oh, Michelle, okay. Yeah. But you know who I am, I guess.
Yeah, I'll let him know you're here.
Yeah, thank you. Should I just come in through there?
Yeah, that's
Great. All right. Ran into a Rivian employee, and we're gonna go ahead and get inside. All right, guys. So I just went into the Rivian Service Center. Amazing experience. Despite the fact that it's in an area of Salt Lake City that I would say is not my, you know, I would not associate this with a higher end location. It's in a really nice spot. It has a lot of truck parts and different types of service items that you can get to very easily here. So that's really good. And then the interior of the service location is actually really great. They were able to get me a loaner vehicle, so I'm pretty excited about that. I've got the white R1T here instead of my green, which I'm pretty excited to see how, I mean, it looks a lot nicer in person than I had originally expected. Service center was pretty easy and straightforward. They just made me sign some paperwork for the loaner vehicle, but they have told me that they are planning on making sure that
I'll receive a follow-up regarding the status of my vehicle once they have some more information. I've jumped into the vehicle, and I actually am noticing that this one also has a service notification. It says that the hood latch is not working. I half wonder if there might be some quick things that might be going on right now, some quick issues, but I guess we'll find out as we keep going. Either way, in the loaner vehicle now, it's the same interior, the black, and nothing too different from what I have in my car. As I was driving, I was messing around with the air conditioning and heating, just the temperature control in general, and I noticed something very interesting. You can hear that it's going to turn everything up. It's going to make everything really nice and cool in here. It still is blowing cold air, but then if I go ahead and turn off auto and turn this all the way down, I'm not sure if you guys heard it, but there was that rattling noise. So I'm half wondering if there might be something going on with the air conditioning unit in this vehicle, or maybe something might be loose because it's all happening in this one little spot right here. So that's something that I'm seeing in a vehicle that is not mine. I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye out for that in my other vehicle. And again, there's that the service announcement of the hood latch not working. So I'm not entirely sure if this is true because the hood is very much closed. It looks great, Oh, come on. I mean, it's very close. But there is the warning here. So I do wonder if there might be some more service items or software issues that are popping up where there are false positives for things that are going wrong in the vehicle, which might also be the same situation as my car at this point too. Okie dokie, guys. I am currently back in my vehicle after having spent some time in that vehicle. I no longer have any service lights up, so we're gonna go ahead and look at that. I'm currently in park. Scrolling in here. Getting a little bit of focus up. Focus up, come on. Yeah. So, no more service light. Technically what they told me had happened was that my vehicle had a connector that was loose and they were able to tighten up the connector. So, no real major issues there. I wasn't too worried that there was going to be any major problems, but I was interested in my first service experience, which I'm just going to break it down like this. Like I mentioned earlier, everything was a little disjointed. I didn't feel like I was really... Sorry. It's trying to get me nice and cooled down here. I didn't really feel like everything was super organized yet, which is totally fine. At the end of the day, brand new company, they're still getting their service center set up. And another major thing to keep in mind is that it's probably one of their first service requests. Not one of their first, but one of the first ones, I think. So they're still working through and creating a little bit more of an organizational flow for that, I think. Like I mentioned before, I received several different phone calls from several different people that, they had a general idea of what I was doing. They were relatively sure that I was coming in. I was planning on coming in on Wednesday, and then they changed it to Friday. So there's a lot of things that were just kind of back and forth a little bit. But at the end of the day, once I got here, they knew what was going on. They were ready to take care of me. They had a loaner vehicle, which I don't think they typically will have a loaner vehicle in the future, but since they have so many vehicles in here to begin with, they were able to do it. But in the future, I think what they're going to do is, Lyft credits and so on. And I mentioned earlier that they sent me $600 in Lyft credits that, I could use, didn't have to use. And since I'm not using it, at the end of the day, it'll just refund and, won't hit their account. But it's really nice to know that they would provide you the service if necessary to be able to get to where you need. So in general, everything got taken care of. Nothing major. Biggest thing that I was taking from this was that we were just going to see what the service was like, and it was great, other than a little disorganized at the beginning. So hope you guys have the same experience I do.